Previously on Balls.
Okay, Johnny, the king of Twitter's on the phone, so that's enough. Hey, Barry, how's it going?
Yeah, good yourself, Darren.
All right, welcome to Balls Radio. Nice to chat to you after what was a crazy week. How's your finger?
Fingers, they're surviving.
I was sitting thinking about Barry pulling a finger or something, but I mean, hell of a job. First of all, PGA clap for Barry.
Yes, well done, Barry.
And I think I said it early on when you were only on about 25,000 followers at that stage. It was so refreshing just with all the sideshows going on and theories and people pontificating about this, that, and the other, and what happened, and so no one knows. To be able to just follow your timeline and get the facts of what's happening in the court, and that's what it's all about. You were just telling us exactly what was going on.
Well, indeed. I mean, that's partly what I was there to do as a reporter. But I get posed a lot of questions. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? I made a very strict point of not being drawn on speculation because, given the medium Twitter, you say something towards speculation and it becomes like a virus. We know how these things go. It become viral. Everyone's retweeting, and it's just fuel to the misinformation. So I made a very clear distinction of what I was going to do on Twitter, what I wasn't going to do, and I definitely wasn't going to fuel, the rumors that were already out there.
Was this basically either your own? Was this a thing you knew that was going to happen going into the case beforehand, that you were going to just sit and try and tweet as much of the information that was being said in court? In other words, a sort of a microwave version of the stenographer's job. Did this develop as things were going on and you were starting to tweet and eventually it became this marathon exercise of tweeting what was going on?
No, I mean, I do it every day for my job anyway. With Eyewitness News, all of us reporters do tweet anyway. We tweet to our personal accounts, but then also to the EWN reporter account.
Yeah.
So I did it anyway, and being the first on the scene, and people latched onto my handle, and it just got retweeted and went out. But I think on that Thursday night, I started it where, there's a lot of misunderstanding, I think, and ignorance perhaps of the South African legal system. And people would send questions, to my personal account, and I think I stayed there for some ridiculous hour just answering questions, setting things straight to assist people to understand, firstly, what did I know about the facts at that stage, what I didn't know and what the police were saying, but then also questions on the legal process. Where is Oscar now? What's going to happen tomorrow? And I think that got the ball rolling. People saw it as a source of, so it got tweeting, and, people retweeted the questions and the answers. And I think that probably explains the massive growth of my own handle as opposed to other accounts where they were also saying many of the same things, but I was also assisting to help with answers, where people needed them. Yeah,
look, I think a big part of it as well is the fact that, as you say, you're one of the first people, and people started to sort of see you as the default. Go to Barry. Like, if you've been doing something else and you wanted to catch up on what was going on, just go back to your timeline. And then people around the world, and we're going to ask you in a moment, just like who's some of the people that started following you, because like Kevin Peterson was sending me direct messages going, what's happening, what's this, we've heard this, we've heard that, and I just sent to him, listen, just follow Barry Bateman on Twitter. Now he's got he's got like 1 million followers or something. So as soon as he starts retweeting your stuff, you're being exposed to 1 million people who also want to know what's going on in this case, and they then start following you as well. So I mean, it's not surprising that you suddenly grew this massive following because people kind of saw you as the avenue to get all the information.
Indeed, I was also being at one time. I got a big punt from Gary Lineker.
Yeah,
and I understand that he's got a radio show over there. He does something on the sports and what have you, and he's got something like 1.4 million followers. So I was getting, I think one of the tweets was, "You're wondering where I'm getting all my updates on Pistorius. Follow Barry Bateman," and then you see the spike of followers from the UK.
Yeah, because it's imagine how people latch on you and think you're the source of it. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't know. I'm following someone else. Just follow him direct. I'm the middleman. Leave me out of it. Follow him, and he'll give you the information.
Yeah. What happens on your phone? Do you get those email notifications?
No, I turned those off.
Yeah, because otherwise you'd have no battery.
I couldn't use my phone anymore because my iPhone. I couldn't use it anymore because of it became, I was going up by, I think at one point, 1,000 every hour or something. Yeah. It was something ridiculous, and it was madness.
Yeah.
So I quickly turned those off when it started to become a snowball.
Yeah. Now, I mean, who have you picked up as followers subsequent to all of this from like a worldwide point of view? Have you had a chance to even see who is following you, and do you know some of the people that are, other than the ones you mentioned, Gary Lineker, Kevin Peterson, other people?
I haven't gone through the list, actually. I just haven't had time to stop and go and look at all the followers. I haven't stopped tweeting, but I haven't taken a good look to see who the unusual names that might be there.
Yeah.
Do you feel like there's this expectation to perform now? You've got 134,000 people hanging on your every word. Make it a good,
Well, he has performed.
make it a good tweet.
What's your sequel now, Barry?
Doesn't it?
What's that?
What's the sequel going to be? Because, I mean, now,
Well, I'm already getting the stick already. I think I made a spelling mistake earlier, and you've got 150,000 followers. There's enough of them grammar Nazis in there to sort you out, you know. So the whip's already there. People keeping a close eye on what I do. But there is that expectation when there's a lull and it goes quiet for a while. You know, there are people who come out and say, "What are you doing? Where's Barry?" You know.
Yeah.
So they're going to be quite surprised when I get back to my normal beat and I'm reporting on two, I don't know,
boring stuff.
bag snatches in the Pretoria High Court.
yeah, they will see. Yeah, they see those numbers.
No one cares, Barry.
It's going to sustain though, Barry, because
No one will, no.
this is a long process. I mean, we go back on June the 4th. It's not necessarily the trial date. And one thing I want to ask you, just from a legal point of view, and we've seen this happen in other high-profile legal cases in South Africa. I mean, there's a possibility there could be a lot of postponement. So this could take a while before it actually goes to trial.
No, that's quite right. But I think, given the high-profile nature of this, you've had the National Police Commissioner come in and pull Warrant Officer Hilton Buerter off, and they put the top detective in. They put in a senior investigator in on this. Usually when we'll get a postponement is we're about to start, and then the prosecutors will say, right, we don't have forensics this, we don't have fingerprints there, we haven't had an ID parade, we haven't verified that. I'm thinking that given the 6-month wait that we've got, this is certainly more than enough time for the state to wrap up their case, that by the time we get there, they'll be able to say, right, we've got this docket, we're ready to proceed with trial, we're ready to disclose to the defense team, and we're ready to set a trial date. I'm still convinced that we're going to have a trial date before the end of this year.
All right, yes, but it won't. It's not, and the people are mistaking the 4th of June as that's when it's going to happen. It's not the 4th of June. They will decide on the 4th when it's
not the 4th of June. That's a date we've been postponed to for further investigations. On that day, we'll find out whether we do get a trial date, or, as you've hinted towards, we might get another postponement.
And of course, that's once again, people are going to go back to Barry Bateman again when that's all happening. Are you obviously going to be doing the same thing? I just want to know. I mean, was it fait accompli that you were going to get into the court every day? Did you have was there a permanent accreditation, or did you have to go there every morning and get into the bun fight for those that were allowed into court?
No, by Thursday, the Justice Department had sorted out a system. There were, by that time, they had established priority, people who get in. I was among those priority people that got in, but that also included ETV, the SABCs. Your local press did get a priority to get in, but on day one, it was elbows and faces like everybody else.
Yeah.
And, I think someone described it as you could hear the foreign language swear words outside the courtroom trying to get in. But it was a free-for-all, and we really struggled, but I made sure I was going to get my bum on a seat inside this courtroom.
Can you imagine the uproar if the king of Twitter never got in? He's sitting outside with 135,000 people.
It's crazy.
Would it be madness?
But I think Jeff Radebe probably realized that, and he put in a special word for me. He couldn't have me out, so he must have organized something.
Yes, Johnny?
Barry, was there a bit of confusion this morning? I heard that Oscar doesn't have to report now, according to the NPA, at the police station every Monday and Friday.
What is the status of that?
No, that's quite right. There was a bit of confusion. What happened on Friday was that Prosecutor Harry Nell, in his proposal to the magistrate, he said that, right, the prosecution has met with the defense team. We've come up with these proposals which we've agreed upon. And among the proposals were that bail would be set at 250,000 rand. Condition. Among those conditions was that Oscar report to the Brooklyn police station twice a week, Monday and Friday. Chief Magistrate Desmond Nair took that on board. He said, right, here is my ruling. And he made Oscar stand up, and he started with his ruling, and he went on to start off with a 1 million rand bail, and he went through all his conditions which he had set, but he didn't include this weekly visit. And I think with the number of conditions that he read out, I think it must have slipped through somewhere, and it appears every journalist got it wrong.
Yeah.
And we ended up camping at the police station today when there was no such condition. But to be fair, even though we understand his legal team were a little bit lost, they had to get the written judgment as well before they could confirm that we don't have to be there.
Maybe that's why his uncle drove past. He was going to go and ask whether he has to bring him in or not.
Well, I think he was there. Probably he must have maybe somehow heard that we were there, and he was having a good chuckle at these this media horde that's been hounding his nephew at our expense.
You're on YouTube a little later on today. We wouldn't have to be here. Yes, Johnny, final one.
No, I think I've asked everything.
Yeah,
Thanks, Barry.
Well, I mean, it's had the whole country absolutely fascinated, and I was listening to I think it might have been David O'Sullivan the other day, and he was talking about a book coming out. I mean, it seems almost inevitable that one will come out. Have you thought about being the person to write it?
Yeah, it's been up there, but I think it's still early days.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of process to go through. I mean, we've still got a whole trial to go through. So it's something that's cropped up, but nothing I've put too much thought to as yet.
All right. Well, look, I mean, there's still, as you say, a long time to go. There's a trial still to come, and I know that's going to be, once again, default to Barry Bateman if you want to know what's going on while you're trying to do a day's work. But thanks, Barry, because as I say, it was, to take all the flower and the opinions and people's theories out of the way, and just to be able to get updated on what's going on, following your timeline, was very refreshing, and it just told you exactly what was going on, which is what some of us just wanted to know. So, good job, congratulations, well done, and we'll be keeping an eye out as things develop too on your timeline. I'm sure everyone knows at Barry Bateman. That's the Twitter handle. All the best. And how many beers did you have after the final ruling? By the way.
Ooh, that I can't disclose.
That many.
No, you deserved it. I would have had a huge braai as well on the weekend.
Yeah, well done. Great job,
Thanks,
Barry. All the best, man. Thanks for chatting to us.
Cheers, guys.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
There we go. Barry Bateman joining us on Balls Visual Radio, talking about the experience of being in the court.
Sure.
And tweeting all the stuff that was going on in the Oscar Pistorius trial, which was sort of getting to a head a week ago this time, and now we just sit and wait.
This is Balls Visual Radio. Darren, Simon, Kate and John. Weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Central African Time. Balls.co.za